You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fan, and welcome to your Heat Postcast. What in the world happened to our screen? There it is. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holla. You see the white shirt, you see the blue and the pink lights behind me. What does that mean? Vice City, baby, and it was Vice City tonight for that returning villain, Jimmy Butler. And the Golden State Warriors, they got smacked up and jacked up by the Heat tonight. An emphatic win for Miami that had to feel a little bit extra special considering who it came against, considering the man who deserted them partway through the season, the man who took his ball and went home, the man who gave up on this organization, on this franchise, on this team, on his teammates earlier this season, and eventually petulance paid for Jimmy Butler, who got traded to the Golden State Warriors, but not tonight, as your Miami Heat layeth the smacketh down on that candy-ass 112-86, the final. Now, of course, there was no Steph Curry tonight, but this was not about Steph. This was about Jimmy Butler. More on him in a minute. Get it what I said there? More on him? More on him in a minute. This episode of your Heat Postcast is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Taking control of your finances like the Heat took control of Jimmy Butler with Monarch Money. What a win for Miami tonight, 112-86, and they had a 20-point lead in the third quarter, did not blow it in the fourth, and there was a very key sequence. In fact, I have it teased for my turning point of the game. A little bit later on, I will reveal to you what it was, but it was at the end of the third quarter where Miami, in the past, they folded in this situation, but not tonight. Real quick, want to remind you that we are always FREE free, and that means for you, everywhere you go. That means on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami, soon to be on the Locked On Heat Podcast YouTube page. That means wherever you get your podcast, audio version, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, and that means you're down with OTT. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OTT? This whole network. That means every show on the Locked On Podcast Network can be found now over-the-top television on Roku. So we got the YouTube, we got Roku, and we got wherever you get your podcast. On top of that, we have LockedOnDaily.com with your daily Heat podcast newsletter. That's right. Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter, and it's free every day at LockedOnDaily.com. In your inbox, team, league, everything you need to know. The 411, the skinny, whatever it is, man. You get the plug every day in your mailbox. LockedOnDaily.com. And, of course, we're free. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, 112-86, the final tonight. The Heat all over the court on defense. They had a season-high 5 blocks, 3 of them from Wiggy. Can't you see? Wiggins didn't have the big offensive game tonight, didn't shoot the ball all that well. One of the only Heat players who didn't, as they lit it up from 3. There was an Alec Burks sighting. He went nuts from beyond the arc tonight. And Tyler Herro. We need a hero. Well, didn't really need him to be a hero tonight, but he played like one. 4 for 4 triples from Tyler, and a big win for your Miami Heat. We have so much going on tonight with this episode. Want to make sure that while you're here, subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get alerted when we're coming your way with more content. And, of course, come on in to the chat and say what's up. Have your voice be heard. It's a big night in Miami. You could not let Jimmy Butler come in here and get a dub with the Dubs without Steph. No way, man. They're not the Dubs they used to be. I don't care whatever anybody says about this team throughout the NBA. They're washed. They're toast. I don't care if they have Jimmy Butler. The Dubs are done. You're going to see in the playoffs, man. Look at the New Jacks coming on in. Look at what Dallas did it to themselves. They took themselves out of the equation with maybe the dumbest trade in the history of the NBA. Then you have, look, the Lakers fading with LeBron and Luka. The double L's not going so well. Get that? What I did there? But not lately anyway. And so Minnesota seemed to be a one-hit wonder. Are these teams shooting themselves in the foot? The Cat trade was about as dumb a trade as you could possibly, literally one of the dumbest trades I've ever seen. And the Mavs are like, yeah, hold our computer chips. Or, it's not anymore. It's not Cuban. It's the Adelsons. It's the Vegas gambling family. The widow of one of the richest men in the history of gambling and of the world buys the Mavs from Cuban and promptly trades the 25-year-old five-time all-first NBA player. Bravo. Great job there. But I will say this, the trade of the year, maybe, I don't know. The Heat have had a lot of trouble since then, but Jimmy Butler, to get Wiggins back, to get Mitchell and Anderson as well for Pat Riley, and Anderson's one of those valuable players, man, every day in practice, giving you different looks, an amoeba out there on the court, plays defense, gives you effort, gives you hustle, deflections everywhere tonight for Miami. So, of course, what we still have to come your way, we have all the final stats. We have the box score, player stats, team stats, all those things coming your way. We'll tell you what the Heat did to bottle up Jimmy Butler when we give you his numbers as well. We'll tell you who filled up the nets the most for Miami. We'll give you the stars of the game, the final score graphic, the Hawks coming to town. Miami still in that 10th spot in that play-in range. I really think they're going to have a lot of trouble getting to that 7-8 range even, but in that 9-10 spot, of course, you got to win twice to make the playoffs from the play-in. Last year, they held on to beat the Sixers and were, smashed in the first round by Boston. But the year before, they went all the way to the finals from there. And so you can never count this team out. Now, it's a different team. It's not Jimmy Butler. It's Andrew Wiggins, who, by the way, was all over the floor tonight doing his best Jimmy Butler impersonation. Dude was deflecting, blocking, getting steals, 2 steals, 3 blocks for Wiggins. Right? So the offense wasn't huge like it was the other night, but really, really good basketball being played by Wiggins all over the floor. It was Bam tonight with 27 points, 8 rebounds. About time he had the big scoring spree when the losing streak began, the 10-game L streak. Jimmy said, Butler, we serve you an L. Go look it up if you don't know. Man, if you don't know now, you know. How about that? Since we go wiggy, wiggy, wiggy. It all comes full circle here on the show. But Wiggins, with 3 of the Heat's 5 blocks, the steals, he was all over the place tonight. Offensive rebounding, Kello Ware all over the floor. And I like it when Bam is looking more for offense, but when the 3 balls are being drilled by Miami, or as Eric Reed loves to call it, when Miami is tripling. And I love Eric Reed, one of the great play-by-play announcers in the NBA for decades. And I just, when I was coming out of the University of Miami, dude was mad cool to me and always has been cool to everybody. What a great announcer and a treasure that he'd have in Eric Reed. So tripling for Miami tonight, but they were phenomenal from beyond the arc. They played great defense, and this is your Miami Heat team. Duncan Robinson was out, and they were still hitting threes everywhere. It was Alec Burks. And then look at Kyle Anderson in the fourth quarter. Nice job by him as well. This is your Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Tonight, it's a good night. I'll tell you that. 112-86. The Heat smoke the Dubs right off the floor. They win by 26. They were up by 20 in the third quarter. That's been the danger zone for Miami of late. What did they do to turn that around and win this game? I'll tell you that on the other side. Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and it is, of course, your team every day and free. And how about them apples? Tonight's episode of Heat Postcast is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, hey, where did all my money go? Every single day. And when my lady confronts me, I really lay it on that. Man, I have no idea where all my money went, babe. Why don't you look and check it out? I think we should get Monarch Money. Between dining and online shopping, dining out, entertainment, it's easy to lose track of your cash. You know what I'm saying? And that's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO, baby, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. And that's what we all want, right? Monarch Money is not just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. What do I mean? I mean, you can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Surprising insights, things I've learned. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. The money, the calories, oh, good Lord. Now I budget smarter, save more, look better too. Sexy, and I know it. All-in-one convenience instead of juggling multiple apps. This is a big one, right? You can use Monarch to check your finances, check spending, and even plan long-term goals. You can collab managing money with your partner. Be careful, but hey, when you get it done and you get it done right, it's smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the page without stress. She can shackle you a lot easier with Monarch Money, but you'll have a lot of money more in the long run, and you know it, and you might as well just jump on board. Whatever it is. You know how it goes, and Monarch Money makes it a lot easier. So what you're going to do, brothers and brothettes, you're going to take advantage and control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off in your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year, taking control of your finances with Monarch Money on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. And I want to remind you one more time for your mind that we're free on YouTube, free wherever you get your podcast, and free OTT. Yeah, you know me on Roku. But also, one more time, and look, it's an embarrassment of riches. All these tools in the toolbox, I can do whatever I want here on the Locked On Podcast Network. So now I want to remind you one more time, you love Locked On Heat, the podcast. The guys do great. We know it. One of the top NBA podcasts with the POSTCAST, best in the business, right? Well, your favorite podcast has a newsletter as well. You everydayers know this. You new jacks, come on in. Introducing the Locked On Heat newsletter. One stop for ultimate Heat and NBA coverage delivered right to your inbox, baby. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com, and start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. I like it when I talk in fancy accents, just because. I don't know why. Anyway, 112-86. I feel fancy tonight. The Heat were wearing the Vice Cities. They smoked the Dubs. Steve Kerr just kind of trying everything he could to get a spark late in that game. And, by the end of the game, man, it just was clear that the Dubs didn't have it tonight. And it's the first of a long road trip for them with the NCAA tournament and the scheduling snafu. I love the word snafu. A scheduling snafu for the NBA. Listen to this. The Warriors get to spend 5 days in Miami. Now, depending upon how you look at this, the Warriors get to spend 5 days in Miami, which is how players look at it. But if you're a coach or an executive and you say, the Warriors have to spend 5 days in Miami, how do you enforce that? What kind of curfews do you put on grown men? How do you do that? Multi-millionaires. These guys will spend $300,000 in 5 days in Miami. You think I'm kidding? I am not. That's conservative. Local economy would be getting a boost here this week from the Golden State Warriors, spending that four-time championship money in Miami. But man, oh man, talk about a snafu. That could derail their season. I mean, they could end up with someone in rehab if they're not careful. 5 days in Miami as you make your playoff push because of a scheduling snafu with the NCAA tournament. Oh, whoever did this did not think it through. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Got a little bit of time left in the show, and I am here to remind you that we have so much still left to cover with your Heat Postcast.
This is what you'll be talking about.
See, what happened was I went back to Miami after I was a baby, and I got myself traded out of there. And in 29 minutes, I went 5 for 12 and 0 for 2 from 3, and only had 11 points and 6 rebounds in 29 minutes. Any guesses who that was? That's a pretty good Jamie Foxx, if you ask me. Maybe to me it was. I don't know. But it's Jimmy Butler. Butler comes back to town. 11 points. Would have been even better if he had been held to single digits. But the best part about the Golden State Warriors tonight, and Draymond Green with all his yapping. Draymond Green with all the stuff he likes to do. And good thing he cares more about his podcast than he does the basketball games this year. Because and I'm just starting crap. Draymond Green had 2 points. He was 1 for 4 in 23 minutes. So Butler and Green combined for 13 points. And the very best place for Steph Curry to be when you play the Warriors, out with an injury. So 13 points combined for Green, Butler, and Curry tonight. And that's why the Heat were able to smash the Warriors. No Curry. Butler and Green played like butt. And there you have it. You know what I mean? And Podziemski's your leading scorer. No, he wasn't. He was your leading scorer for starters with 14. It was Kuminga. Played pretty well down the stretch with 15. Santos had 13. But the Dubs just not getting it done tonight. Outstanding defense from Miami. A season-high 5 blocks. The way they were flying all over this court tonight, there's no way the Warriors were winning this game. They got within 8, though, toward the end of the third quarter. More on that in a minute. More on that in a minute because the turning point of the game was real tonight for Miami. And you'll be proud because they did something tonight that they have not been doing lately, which we will get to. Un momento, por favor. But boy, did they get the win and the cover tonight. The Dubs were favored by 4.5, right? And the Heat just literally smoked them right off the floor. For the Miami, for their line tonight, for the Heat and what they were able to do, you had – man, Wiggins only had 10 points on 4 for 13 shooting. Love to see him make about 3 more of those shots and get it up there, 16, 18 points. But nonetheless, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Andrew Wiggins was all over the floor tonight. Scoring-wise for the Heat, it was Bam Adebayo. Bam, 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 bam. 27 points, 8 rebounds for Bam, and a big, big game for Adebayo. Like sending a message to Jimmy Butler for sure. A little extra oomph on this one tonight from Bam, like captain to captain, like, dude, out with the old, in with the new. 14 for Killer K with 10 rebounds tonight, playing with passion and fire. 7 of 11. 7 of 11 from the floor, open 24-7. How about that? And then Tyler Herro, man, oh man, 7 of 10 and 4 of 4 from 3. So 7 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 4 from 3. 20 points, 7 assists for Tyler tonight. And then Alec Burks stepping up big time, 17 points, 5 of 7 from 3. Davion Mitchell, 12 points off the bench, helping out, as well as Anderson with 7. And by the way, Mitchell had 5 rebounds and 7 assists to go along with those 12 points in 32 minutes. Unsung hero, not Tyler Herro, but unsung hero, Davion Mitchell tonight for Miami. And then the team stats real quick. We got to get you out of here. 55% shooting for the Heat, 39 for the Dubs. Miami, 17 of 25 from 3. They scorched the Nets out of their own building. They burned down their own house. A towering inferno on Biscayne Bay, and the Heat just kept bombing bucket after bucket after bucket. They were on fire and fuego tonight while the Dubs were 9 of 38 from 3. A long day from the Splash Brothers, right, with Curry out and no more Klay Thompson. 23% from beyond the arc for Golden State to 68% for Miami. Miami out-rebounded Golden State 42-38. They had 6 more assists, 26-20. Steals even at 8. Turnovers 18 for Miami, 16 for Golden State. Fast break points 12-8 in the Heat's favor. Points in the paint 44-42. Miami, that doesn't happen all that often that they win that battle. And their largest lead was 28. The Warriors come out and play. The Warriors never led in this game tonight. So there you have it. The Miami Heat 112-86 winners. And you know what it is. It is time to take care of some business. First things first, we throw up. Well, we'll do it a little different tonight. How about this? How about we go on and we tell you where the game changed? And this is a big one tonight for Miami.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
These are the moments. And look at this. A 5-0 run to end the third quarter. What's a 5-0 run to end the third quarter mean? Greece, it doesn't mean anything. It's 5 points. It's the NBA. What does it mean? It means everything. That's what it means. It means everything right now. It means everything. You know why? Because the Miami Heat had a 20-point lead. The Golden State Warriors had cut it to 8. Oh, single digits. Kuminga had just drilled a 3. Spoelstra's going like this on the sideline. Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. Spoelstra's going like this on the sideline. The old Wannstedt with his fan through his hair. Like we used to always make fun of Wannstedt for doing that. Defoe and I did. But, man, a 5-0 run to end the third quarter after the Warriors had cut their 20-point lead down to 8. This is where the Heat have folded. This is where the Heat have even let that other team keep going with that run. So Tyler Herro, who you see right there, went to his left, threw up a one-handed runner off of 1 foot from 18 feet. Nothing but the bottom of the net, like Dr. Jack would say. And, yeah, the next time down, Davion Mitchell with a corner 3 after some beautiful ball movement from Tyler to Wiggins to Mitchell. Corner 3, bullseye, bang. And your Heat cap off that 5-0 run at the end of the third that could have ended in disaster, pushed the lead back up to 13, started the fourth quarter with momentum, and never, and The Rock means never, look back. All right, so I'm not The Rock. Sorry, you're disappointed there when you just, like, it just came back to the screen and The Rock wasn't here. But you know what I'm saying. We went to school together, so it's all good. But you know what else is good?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
We do 3 like hockey, sweaters, not jerseys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, why should hockey have that? The 3-star system when no one even cares about hockey. Yeah, I said it. All right, here we go. Stars of the game. Number 1. Down, wiggy, wiggy, wiggy. Can't you see? He did it again. Not on the offensive end. He had 10 points, but Andrew Wiggins set the tone. You could tell his teammates were playing for him. You could tell they had that little extra pep in their step because they did not want to let Jimmy Butler come back in here and get a dub after what he had done to them all season. But Andrew Wiggins was traded by Golden State. He was cast aside. He was spurned so that they could get Jimmy Butler. Bam, Tyler, and everybody else wanted to step up and help Wiggy prove that they made the wrong move. Well, Wiggy set the tone with his effort tonight. Career high, or season high rather, with the 3 blocks, had the 2 steals, the rebounds, and Wiggins was all over the floor. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, just didn't make the shots tonight. A poor shooting night. Otherwise, it might have been like an 18-point game for him, but instead it was 10 points, 5 and 5, but it was the steals, it was the blocks, it was the tenacity, it was the leadership, it was the dog in Andrew Wiggins tonight. You bring out the dog in me. All right, 2 more stars and we be out. 1 more, Tyler, we need a hero. Well, didn't need a hero tonight, but Tyler coming through like one anyhow. Man, he's going to catch Duncan Robinson and be the Heat's all-time leader in 3-point field goals made in the season. 7 out of 10 from the floor, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. So what's that? 14, 18, 2 free throws. So 20 points, 7 assists for Tyler tonight, 3 rebounds as well, and a good job by Tyler in that 5-0 run when he hit that runner off 1 foot from the left side, 18 feet. No, it would look like Larry Bird used to shoot. It was freaking dope when Tyler did that. And our final star of the game be's the one to blame is Bam, 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 Adebayo. Bam, let me tell you who I am, the ERICKSCRMON. All right, 27 points, 8 rebounds for Bam, 9 of 18 from the floor. Had a couple 3 balls tonight, and what a job by Bam Adebayo to set the tone for this team. He's the captain, you know, the steals, the blocks, everything starts with him. The defensive effort, the switches, the box outs, the assignments, playing together, communication, talking your way through the game. It starts with a capitan, man, and Bam played really a legit game tonight in all ways. So a big win for Miami. The Heat back at it in a couple of nights, and they will play the Atlanta Hawks. Got to get that home record up, man. It's been a bad year at home, but they have the Hawks on Thursday. They go to Philly to play the fading, sinking 76ers on Saturday, and then Monday they're in the nation's capital to face the Wizards, who have played like anything but this year. So the Hawks, Sixers, Wizards, 3 very winnable games for Miami. And as you're looking at the standings, as you're looking at the overall picture in the Eastern Conference, the Hawks are 4 games ahead of Miami, the Magic 3.5, and the Bulls 1 game ahead of them. The Heat are not going to finish out of the play-in. They're going to be in the play-in, probably in the 9-10 spot, which means 10, which means you got to win twice to get in. But they could catch Orlando, but remember they lose the head-to-head, and the Hawks game's even bigger for that, and they got to shut them down and get that win. And how bad does that Detroit loss hurt now? They're just right above them too in the standings. But the Miami Heat get it done tonight at home. En la casa, 112-86 over the Golden State Warriors. Look at Kel'el Ware throwing it down with another big game for him. If it wasn't for Wiggins playing against the Warriors and having the blocks and the steals, I think Ware would have been a player of the game again tonight because he was like 7 of 11 shooting, 14 points, 10 rebounds. The young kid killing it. Don't forget, he already won Rookie of the Month in the NBA in January. All right, Heat fans, that's all there is. There is no more. Get on out there and cruise around with your windows down, will you? For the Mad Dog Jim Mandich, one of my most valued and treasured mentors in this business, R.I.P. Jim. And, man, that Mandich tree is still living large on the airwaves and, you know, TV, radio, streams everywhere in South Florida and beyond. The Mad Dog, Jim Mandich. He would have loved tonight's game. Maybe had a couple of green lizards afterwards as well. The Heat win 112-86 with a brilliant display of 3-point shooting and defense, the 2 keys to winning in today's NBA. If you don't believe me, just ask the defending NBA champion, Boston Celtics, because that is how they did it. And I don't know how I just almost exited stage over there without even, hey, I'm just leaving my own show. Don't mind me. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Chairs on wheels. The struggle is real. 112.86. We're back after the game on Thursday against the Hawks. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Your Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, presented by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Keep your game tight and your mind right. Thank you. And I am out.